A lot of people had a problem with this $2 bill from Canada, and that caused it to not be made anymore. The Canadian Mint had to stop making a production of this dollar for a while. So this dollar bill is a $2 bill from Canada. Maybe as unpopular as the American $2 bill, but still they made them. Uh, Queen Elizabeth became queen in 1953. So in 1954, it was time to make a lot of the paper money with Queen Elizabeth on it. And as it turns out, I bought this lot off of eBay for about $10 in 2020. I'd heard about this, but I didn't realize they made them on the twos. I just thought they made them on the ones, and I didn't go looking for it on the two. So there were five $1 bills that came in this, and I didn't check, and none of them were like this. But they only made this in 1954, and through the production run, there was something that made people uncomfortable about it. I've zoomed in on it now, and the problem that people had was with his hair. You may know what it is, but just based on the title of this video. But in the bottom of her hair, right here, looks like you can see a face. There are a couple of eyes, a nose, and a mouth, and people called that, thought that looked like the devil. I mean, it looks like kind of a scary, sinister figurine. Completely unintentional on the part of the Canadian engravers, but uh, once someone found that and pointed it out, a lot of people said, we just cannot have this on our money. And so after a while, after enough people complained about it, let's see, this was produced by the British American Banknote Company in Canada. So after there was enough of an outcry, they stopped production on these banknotes and came out with a new design. And I'll show you the new design that's also in this particular envelope here. So I will say that this one is definitely ratty. I'm not the best at grading paper money. I believe would be considered at least very good condition, and according to the catalog, a very good condition $2 bill with the devil face on it is, I think they call it the devil hair version. Book value on this is $17 in this condition. While we're here, let's go ahead and flip it over. We've got a nice red scene here of rural Canada, I suppose. Let's go ahead and set that one down, and we're going to move to the redesigned hair. And it actually is called the redesigned hair version. This will say 1954 on it, but based on the signatures at the below, it's series 1954, but they produced this until about the 60s or so. So we zoom in here, and they got rid of any. They redesigned the hair so it doesn't look like a face. I mean, if you squint hard enough, maybe you can look in there and see a face, but they have really gotten rid of the look of a face on this one. So here is the much easier to find redesigned face version of this dollar. Let me skip ahead to this is the next version of the dollar that they made in 1967. It was a centennial dollar, and as we zoom in again, the hair looks the same on the centennial dollar. And by the way, with the centennial dollar, there are two versions of this. One that has a regular serial numbers. And now that I think about it, that's kind of a cool that you got 14144448 with the letters being O over O. That in itself is kind of cool, I guess. But there are also versions of this $1 centennial note that just have the years 1867 to 1967 in lieu of a serial number. I believe those were sold as a gift by the Mint for more than $1. So if you bought one of those and then released it into circulation, you were losing money on it. So that is the newer version, but still use the same version of hair. While we're at it, here is an even newer version of the $1. I forget what oh, that's series 1973 on it while we're looking at Queen Elizabeth. And also while we're thinking about it, let's look at the last banknote before Queen Elizabeth. This one is in pretty ratty condition, has some kind of stain on it, but this is the last portrait of George the Sixth on it. I am not an expert in banknotes, despite the research I did for this video, but I'd say for $10 to get all these, it's a pretty good collection, I believe. So just thought I'd want to show off how I would like to think that if we saw devil on current money, we would still raise an outcry to have it removed. I would like to think that. In today's society, you never know, but at least I think they didn't want that back then. Was that silly for people to do that? Maybe. It certainly wasn't intentional. I think it was just an accident that people would look at this and think that the devil was drawn into the face. But if it's, once everyone started looking at it and started thinking, ooh, I've got the devil on my money, I don't want that, the kind of forced the hand of the Bureau of Printing to get rid of that. So it's just an interesting footnote of history from the paper money collecting world, which I just dabble in just a little bit. All right. Thanks for watching. Bye.